Get ready. Hollywood Studios at Walt Disney World has seen some major expansion and improvements over the last 3 to 4 years. The most notable additions being Toy Story Land and Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, which really propelled the park to new heights. Overall, it would be hard for anyone to argue that this version of Hollywood Studios isn't as good as the old. However, we thought it would be fun to take a trip through the park's attraction graveyard and remind you of some of the now closed Hollywood Studios attractions. Get ready. Number 8. Club Disney. Club Disney was essentially Disney's version of a family-friendly nightclub. One of the most unique and possibly strangest concepts the company ever went with, the attraction lasted just 3 months. It first opened its doors on the 1st of December 2015 in conjunction with the opening of the Sunset Showcase building at the end of Sunset Boulevard. It was officially closed on the 7th of February 2016. It's generally uncommon for Disney to close an attraction so soon after opening, but we think that Club Disney was more of a cheap experiment than anything else, which meant closing it did not carry the consequences as a more costly attraction would. All it really involved was a large space, loud music, a big wraparound video screen, and Disney characters encouraging everyone to get up and dance. It also had a seating area, some charging stations, and most importantly, air conditioning. Number 7. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids Movie Set Adventure. You'll probably find that most of the attractions on this list are movie-based. The reason for this is that when the park first opened its doors as Disney MGM Studios, it was built with the intention of competing with bitter rival Universal Studios. Universal were in the process of opening a movie-themed park only a few minutes down the road. The attraction was set up as a kids' playground, suitable for those 10 and under. The concept was built around creating an illusion that you'd been shrunken down to a miniature size, just like the movie. This illusion was aided by things like huge blades of grass and garden sprinklers that you needed to try and navigate around. It sadly shut its gates in 2016 after nearly 26 years in operation. But on the other hand, it was probably the right time as the park was looking to move in a new direction. Number 6. Journey into Narnia, Prince Caspian. Ironically, the now closed Hollywood Studios attraction actually replaced another attraction, Journey into Narnia, The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, upon its opening in 2008. The attraction was a walk-in show based on its movie namesake and ran until 2011 before it was replaced. The experience of this attraction started in the queue, where guests would watch screens that asked trivia questions for them to answer. Following this, there was then a pre-show which would feature the movie's director, Andrew Adamson, and show behind-the-scenes footage of the making of the movie. For the main part of the show, guests would enter Aslan's stone table chamber. They were then treated to an edited clip of the movie, showing the intense scene of Peter and Edmund being tempted to use the power of the White Witch to defeat the evil King Miraz. Finally, as guests walk out, they would get to see some of the movie's concept art and props up close. Number 5. The American Idol Experience. This was definitely one of the most eccentric attractions that a Disney park ever offered. If you don't know what American Idol is, we suggest you Google it and potentially YouTube some of the worst auditions.
That's not what I wanted, are you kidding? I wanted to be the next American Idol. Thanks, Sarah.
In short, it was a talent show aimed at finding America's next singing sensation. During the show's process, contestants would have to go through a number of rigorous auditions in order to be crowned the next American Idol. The American Idol Experience attraction gave guests a chance to experience the full process from initial audition right up to performing live on stage. However, not all guests would get the chance to progress, as this was determined based on votes. Hollywood Studios ran about 5 live shows a day. Winners would then be awarded an actual pass to perform in real future American Idol auditions without having to wait hours in line. The attraction ran just over 5 years before its last show in summer 2014. Number 4. Studio Backlot Tour. Mentioning the Studio Backlot Tour will definitely give some a nostalgic feel due to it being an opening day attraction. Running from May 1st, 1989 until September 28th, 2014, the attraction gave over 25 years of service. Its reason for closing was to make way for the incoming Toy Story Land. When the studio's park first opened, a large section of it was actually reserved for movie and TV production. Nowadays this is very different, but at the time a tour of the facilities made a lot of sense. This part walk-through, part tram tour attraction brought guests through a number of different sets and props. The most notable spectacle was Catastrophe Canyon, a special effects set where guests got to experience simulated thunderstorms, earthquakes, oil fires and flash floods. Number 3. Academy of Television, Arts and Science Hall of Fame Plaza. This mouthful of an attraction was a long-running park feature that closed its doors in 2016, after first opening way back in 1994. It was a simple outdoor walk-through attraction that featured the sculptured heads of 12 of the most famous and influential personalities the world has seen. Ultimately, you could say there was not a whole lot to this attraction, but it did allow guests to learn more about these influential people, as well as take some photos as cool souvenirs. The exhibition featured people such as Oprah Winfrey, Betty White and of course Walt himself, who featured front and centre of the entire showcase. Number 2. Animation Academy. Unlike some of the other attractions on this list, Animation Academy is actually still running, but in Disney California Adventure. In fact, in our top tips for families video for Disney California attraction, we had it as a must-do, which you can click up in the corner right there. Unfortunately though, for Hollywood Studios visitors, this fun attraction shut its doors in July 2015. However, a similar experience is currently offered in Animal Kingdom at Conservation Station. The attraction was built around teaching guests how to draw their favourite Disney characters. Upon entry, each guest was given a pencil and some paper. A real Disney artist would then sit on stage and showcase how to draw that session's character, giving verbal instructions that guests can follow. In our opinion, Animation Academy was a fun attraction and a loss to the park. If you ever had a chance to experience this attraction, let us know in the comments below what character you drew. Number 1. The Great Movie Ride. This attraction is probably the most famous of all the closed attractions in this video. This was an opening day attraction located in the park's centerpiece, the Chinese Theatre. It closed its doors for the last time in the summer of 2017 after nearly 28 years of service. Although it was sad to see it go, Disney did replace it with the now popular trackless dark ride Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, which opened in 2019. The Great Movie Ride features scenes from movies such as Alien, Casablanca and The Wizard of Oz, among many others. Each different set featured a host of special effects and animatronics. The ride covered a total of 95,000 square feet and was said to be one of the most ambitious attractions in terms of scale and detail that Disney had ever undertaken. A lot of long-time Hollywood Studios fans do still genuinely miss this attraction, but like all good things, they must unfortunately come to an end at some point. Check out other episodes of the Attraction Graveyard series on Epcot and Universal Studios Florida on screen now. That concludes our trip through the Attraction Graveyard of Hollywood Studios. Now you're ready. Let us know in the comments below which one of these attractions you missed the most, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already.